climb 3 flights of stairs to serve the public, and they were there to help. And apparently there may have been conversations with deputies prior to their arrival about cost. These 5 firefighters never had anything to say about costs. They don't show up and say, hey, show me your insurance card, or give me your debit card, I'm going to swipe it. That's not how these things work. So these are heroes. These are folks that if it wasn't for Mike Merrill, we wouldn't be in this situation. This guy, the county manager over there in his ivory tower, shot from the hip. He spoke out of turn, didn't give these 4 firefighters any due process. He concluded that they were wrong from the get-go before he ever gathered any facts. And in America, that's not how it goes. So he did that. Mike Merrill is the one who subjected our county, our taxpayers like you and me, to an untold amount of liability by claiming they were guilty before he had ever found the facts. So I'm wondering, how did it get this way? Did someone walk in his office and say, hey boss, our firefighters messed up? Is that what happened? And then the narrative was, they're guilty? Because we're hearing from the highest levels that they plan to terminate the lieutenant and the acting lieutenant. The lieutenant, who is an Iraq War veteran, and the acting lieutenant, a young lady who, by all accounts, is a stellar firefighter. Her battalion chief will tell you he doesn't have a finer firefighter. You heard firsthand from her partner how they're broken up. They've helped raise their niece. They have mouths to feed, all 4 of these firefighters, just like you and I do. And to think that they're sitting at home wearying and wringing their hands, wondering what they're going to do with their careers. After Mike Merrill, his career's over. He's in the drop. He doesn't give a damn about these firefighters. And that brings up another issue altogether. The chief. Where's the chief in all this? Is this a rudderless ship? Because he hasn't spoke out one time in favor of these firefighters or to say anything. He's hiding under a rock somewhere. I'll tell you, this mother had alleged some allegations that there were racial allegations against the police in Valdosta, Georgia. Okay, that's well documented by Valdosta Media, and I'll send you links for it. The difference in Valdosta and Tampa, Florida is apparently the police chief up there has a backbone, and ours is yet to find his, because the police chief, or the fire chief, excuse me, down here, the fire chief down here doesn't have a backbone like the one the police chief does in Valdosta, because he stood up for his officers and said, this is untrue. At no point in the process has anyone stood up for these young people and said, this is not true. They don't show up and say, give me the money. They're there to transport, they're there to help. The mother alleges that they were on the scene an hour. Check the record. They were on the scene, they went into service again right afterwards. They were on the scene a total of 13 minutes. I've never seen anything, a situation like this, where a county administrator or a county manager comes out and condemns his employees without ever having interviewed them. Never in my entire life have I seen an instance where the lack of due process has been in place like this.
Travis, is it your position that on July 4th, someone refused service from these firefighters, and if so, who was that?
The mother said all along she was taking her daughter in a privately owned vehicle. A POV, as the firefighters call it. And that also brings up another issue, coding. Coding, again, the county administrator, the medical director, the chief, they don't ride trucks, so they don't know that, guess what, someone's gonna jump in a POV and leave the scene. There's no check the box for that. And if these firefighters are running back-to-back calls, how are they gonna ever have time to document it? Which again leads us down another path to the taxpayers of only built one fire station in 10 years. And you know how this county has grown in 10 years. But I'm just saying, it's all related, and they're not willing to fill in those blanks and have some compassion for these firefighters who are subject to getting stuck with HIV or all kinds of needles, who go into fire. They go into fires. The lieutenant on this case has made lieutenant in 4.5 years. I got 2 brothers who were in the Orlando Fire Department. I don't think they made it 4.5 years. They were great firefighters. 4.5 years is typically 7 to 10 years. This guy is an Iraq War veteran, a tough guy who's gone into buildings fighting fires for us. I'm pretty sure that Mike Merrill and not the chief lately have gone in any burning buildings or saved anybody's life on a foreign battlefield.
So Mike Merrill said that they didn't do a baseline assessment on the patient that day. That was a
Merrill talks about a failure to do a baseline assessment. When you walk into a dark apartment, you're going to do what's called a primary assessment. You're going to look at them, you're going to say, hey, this person's mobile, they're talking, they're walking, they're refusing service, okay? Those are indicators right there. You can encourage them to sit down and let you take their BP and delve deeper, but they're under no obligation, and you can't make them.
Travis, let me ask you just two questions. The first question is, if you don't mind just telling me again, what are you hearing that could happen?
You know, unfortunately, it feels like it's a kangaroo court. We've heard from high levels that they plan to terminate the lieutenant and acting lieutenant. I hope I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. I want to be wrong on camera. I want to be wrong for the record. I want them to come back and say, you know, okay, we're gonna address the coding issue. We're gonna look at that. If there's any kind of reprimand that they want to give based upon the set of facts, then fine, we'll accept that. But to terminate these 4 people, I mean, it's like one of your viewers calling in and saying they don't like you, and your station manager calling you in and firing you without any interview.
Well, let me ask you that. It's also one of the things I wanted to ask you. When you were talking about you've never seen such competition, can you just repeat what you said?
I've never seen an instance where due process was so badly disregarded by a county level administrator. Clearly, I guess he's fallen short of his years of experience and training. Somehow, he's concluded that's the way these operations ought to go.
And
Now he's boxed in. So now I feel like the county manager feels like he's boxed in, and he has nowhere to go. He has to flex his muscle and show that these people have to go because they're bad. These are outstanding firefighters. Ask for the public records. Look at their reviews. They're outstanding, stellar reviews.
And I know you have a lot of strong words against the administrator, but in general, are you saying that they're not going to due process as you mentioned?
In general, he shot from the hip before this was ever, anyone had ever talked. That's just not how we do things. We gather facts. We do thoughtful, consideration of the facts, and then we render a finding. He called in his EEOC people, and somehow this spun up as a racial issue, and it's not.
But it's not my best angle.
Travis Horn, spokesperson for the local union. TRAVIS, HORN.
Travis, why? There's already been a meeting this week. What's today, and why was today necessary?
Today was ostensibly for them to get their final word, for the folks who were accused to give a final word, and to make their case in some closing arguments, if you will.
But you don't feel like they're
I
getting
don't expect we'll see. Of course, we're not going to see a finding by the end of the day or into tomorrow, because guess what? Tomorrow is election day, and no matter what county commissioners say, God love them, they're gonna give you all the same song and dance they always did, which is, hey, no comment. It's an ongoing investigation, and that's just. And the other line is, hey, we can't impact this process when we all know that's nonsense. The buck stops there at County Center. They hire and fire.
I'm interested in knowing whether I think see what the flavor of what I've heard.
I'll talk.
Got to say their piece or whether
I think they got to say their piece, but again, these aren't experienced media folks. They're really great at saving lives, but they're not. You scare these big, strong firefighters. They don't feel like they could get a fair shake. And it's just like they're concerned. That's
yeah, if you get to talk to them, we get some characterization.
Absolutely.
We got to talk for 5 minutes.
You all got to chat with Courtney, or not Courtney, but with Courtney Sparter. I think she gave you a flavor
We
for
really
it.
appreciate that.
For the weight of this, for the impact of this on their personal lives, it's crazy. Thank you.
So you're representing, I know you're an attorney.
I'll send you the link to their.
Okay, okay.